Good afternoon, Tatiana. How are you today?
Very good, thank you, teacher.
You okay? Today we are going to speak about South Africa. South Africa is a country with his name explained in the south of Africa. South Africa was an ancient colony of United Kingdom, and they speak 11 languages, but the most important is English. Okay, there, and we will speak about a little bit of their history and another kind of things interesting about this country. Okay.
Okay.
Now I will. One second. Okay. The objectives for this class, you will know more about South Africa. You will be able to define the meaning words in the reading. You will comprehend the history events through answering questions, and you will be able to share ideas and chat with the teacher about South Africa. Okay, Tatiana?
Okay.
But first of all, you remember that I left you a worksheet to fill in the last class about the future tense.
Yes.
Can you read for me, please?
Okay.
What will happen? The fortune teller is named. Fill the blanks with will or want to complete the fortune teller's predictions. Okay?
Okay.
The first one, please.
Mr. Home and Mr. Chow will meet at a coffee. They won't meet in the park.
Very good, Tatiana.
Sure.
Second.
Mr. Brute won't buy a new car.
Okay.
She will buy a new house.
Okay.
The old couple will go running. They will go walking. Taylor will visit his grandmother. He won't stay at home and play computer
Games.
games.
Okay. Good, Tatiana.
Okay. Mr. Richard won't go to the library.
Library.
Library. She will go to the supermarket.
Very good.
Martha will learn how to play the violin.
Yeah.
She won't learn how to play the guitar.
Very good, Tatiana.
Okay. Poppy will ride her new bicycle. She won't play with her dolls.
Very good.
Mr. William will take the dog to the beach. He won't take her for a walk.
Okay.
Carlos will get good news. He won't get high grade at school.
At school. Okay.
Jason won't receive a big box. He will receive a letter from his uncle.
Uncle. Very
Uncle.
good.
Richard want to go work today.
Yes.
He will have a rest on the armchair.
Armchair.
Armchair. Arthur won't play successfully, but his baseball team, will won the match tomorrow.
Very good, Tatiana. Tatiana, what are you doing in your holidays? Speak me about your next holidays in the future.
In the holidays, I like.
No, what are you doing? Where are you going?
I going to the park.
Yes.
To the cinema.
In holidays, okay.
In holidays, yes. I go to I'm going to travel.
Yes, where are you going to travel?
I going to travel Spain.
To Spain?
To visit my mother.
Okay.
Yes. With my mother, cooking.
Are you going to cooking with your mother?
Cooking. My mother and me go.
Are you going?
Are you going?
No. My mother and me, we are going to
the beach.
to the beach.
Yes.
You swim, Tatiana?
I like swim. Yes.
In the swimming pool or in the sea?
Sea.
In the sea, better, yeah.
Mm.
The lake. You swim in the lake sometimes or no? Or never?
Never.
No, never. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you are going to visit your mother in Spain.
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to swim in the sea. Very good, Tatiana. Now, that is the flag, South Africa flag, okay? That is South Africa. Look in the South Africa, that is Africa. It is Spain, France, United Kingdom, and South Africa is in the south of Africa. What happened? I explain a little bit what happened. First, I was a colony of Holland in the first, I think that in the 16th century, and after the British Empire have the most important colony in India, in this here over there. And in this moment they didn't build the Suez Channel, here is the Suez Channel in Egypt, and the ships from India need to do that. Look, to come to England, and it was a very important route to bring all the merchandise from India and all the merchandise from the British Empire to India. And in certain moment of the history, France and the British Empire was fighting for the control of the world, and France tried to keep the control of South Africa for don't avoid to the British ships to the the road, you know. And they have a big fight here in South Africa, but finally the British Empire won and they took the control of South Africa. You understood?
Yes.
And for that was very important South Africa for the British Empire, because here they can if they keep the control, if they kept the control of South Africa, they could make the ships arrive to the Britain Island. Okay, it's something of history. Okay. In South Africa, there are 11 official languages, but the most popular is English.
11.
They speak 11 official languages. Okay. They have 3 capitals there. The Pretoria is the administrative capital. What is the administrative capital? It is where you can find the most important government buildings. Okay.
Okay.
We have Cape Town, where is the legislative capital. You can find the what is the name?
It's beautiful.
Yes, Cape Town is beautiful because it's they have a very big beach. It's very famous for that, for the beaches, Cape Town. But they have the parliament, sorry. Parliament is the place where the politicians meet for make the laws. Okay? Laws. There is the political capital. We say the Bloemfontein is the judicial capital. There are the big court there, the national court there. The justice organisms is in Bloemfontein. And we have Johannesburg. Johannesburg is the largest city. It's the most important, and it's the most important city in Africa as well. It's the biggest financial center actually, and the most developed city in all Africa. Whole Africa is Johannesburg. It's a big city. South Africa is a country like Colombia in the size, you know, it's more or less the same size, they have the same size. It's probably twice France and 4 times England. The population in South Africa is 54 million people, almost 55 million people. The currency is the South African rand. This is the currency. Okay? In South Africa, they drive on the left, like here. Like in the UK, they drive on the left, you know?
Wow.
Okay, second. Now we will watch a video. I will explain you a little bit about the history. It's a small, short video. It's the Dutch. 1795 they had the British occupation, you know. They were against Napoleon in this moment. Nelson Mandela. You know Nelson Mandela? You
Yes.
have heard about him?
Yes.
The guest folks will now have to play his rules. They have what is called power sharing. They will now find out what it means to lose power and to have no power of your own to protect your own freedom.
Okay, Tatiana, now we will start with it's a reading comprehension activity. And we have, I will put you some videos as well, like this you can understand, okay?
Okay.
Give me a second. Now, we will speak about South Africa. We'll speak about the Big Five. Best known are the mammals, okay? And the best known of these are the famous Big Five: elephant, lion, rhino, leopard, and buffalo. Note that giraffe, hippo, or whale are small. South Africa, bushveld, and savanna region are still home to a large number of the mammals universally associated with Africa. The Kruger National Park alone has well over 10,000 elephants and 20,000 buffaloes. In 1920, there were an estimated 120 elephants left in the whole of South Africa. The white rhino has also been brought back from the brink of extinction and now flourishes both in the Kruger National Park in the Klugeley and Folosi Park in KwaZulu-Natal. Attention, as it now is on protecting the black rhino. Okay, you understood or no?
Yes.
Okay, now we will have a look at a video about the Big Five. The Big Five is the biggest animal in Africa, actually. Okay, and all of these animals are present in South Africa. Okay, they live in natural parks like he's right. The most important is the Kruger National Park. Okay, that is the Big Five. Which one is your favorite animal, Tatiana, of them? What do you prefer of these animals?
I prefer elephant.
You like elephant? Why?
I don't know, it's big, it's strong, it's...
Like Dumbo. You remember Dumbo?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's a nice animal. I prefer lion, the king of the jungle. Okay, we will repeat that. Elephant. Can you repeat elephant, please?
Elephant,
Okay.
elephant,
Africa, elephants are the largest animal on earth. Lion. Can you repeat lion?
Lion.
Lion. Rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros.
Repeat, please.
Rhinoceros.
Very good. Elephant.
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 Lion.
Lion. Lion. Rhinoceros.
Leopard.
Leopard.
Look, the leopard they prey and stay with them to the trees, and they eat to the trees for protect them that another animal eat.
Mhm.
Look, after they prey in trees to keep hyenas out. The buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yes, the buffalo can charge 55 miles per hour, can charge like a car, 55 miles.
Mhm.
They run 55 miles. The human being try to domesticate this animal, but it doesn't work. Yeah. Okay. That is the big five.
You prefer lion?
Lion. Oh. Elephant. Rhino.
Rhino.
Rhino. Leopard.
Leopard.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo bear. There is another big, but not bigger than the giraffe.
Giraffe.
Giraffe. Hippo. Hippopotamus.
Hippo.
The whale. You know the whale?
Whale.
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 That is the Kruger National Park. The big five breathing. Okay. Now I show you the big cats. In a second. I show you the big cats video 1 second. Okay, Tatiana. That is the big cats in Africa. Okay. The big cats are leopard, you know.
Yes.
We have the lion
Lion, leopard,
and cheetah. That is the three big cats.
cheetah.
Okay. Now we will make the big cats reading. What is the... Aside from occupying the top rank of the predation ladder, the lion also tops the glamour stakes. Sadly, it does have one formidable enemy in humankind, which has expelled it from most of the country, so that it now remains almost exclusively in conservation areas. The beautiful leopard survives in a large area, including much of the southern Cape and far north of the country, although numbers are small in some places. The cheetah is the speed champ, capable of dashes of almost 100 kilometers an hour. Its population is comparatively small and confined mostly to the far north, including the Kruger National Park, the Kagalahadi Transfrontier Park in the Northern Cape, and reserves in KwaZulu-Natal and Northwest Province. Okay, that is the big cats. We have three big cats, no? You remember cheetah, leopard, and lion. You remember the big five in Africa? The big five, the animals.
Yes, yes.
Can you say?
Elephant,
Yes.
leopard,
Yes.
rhino, rhinoceros,
Yes.
lion,
Lion.
Lion buffalo.
Very good. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
No problem. Now we will see the video about geography. Okay.
Okay.
Give me a second. Do you like animals? Yes, Tatiana? Look, they have the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean in South Africa, you know? And they have two big lakes and two very important rivers. That here there are some mountains, here mountains. And here is Madagascar. It is near to Reunion Island. It is a French island. And in Madagascar, people speak French.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. You know the okay. No, it's not. Okay.
South Africa. Location, physical features, climate, vegetation and wildlife. South Africa, a country located in the southern part of the African continent, is known for minerals like gold and diamonds, as well as wildlife resources. South Africa extends up to an area of 12,32,037 square kilometers. South Africa, the most developed country in Africa, is surrounded by Mozambique in the northeast, Namibia in the northwest, the Atlantic Ocean in the southwest, and the Indian Ocean in the east. The southern tip of the country is known as the Cape of Good Hope. Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. Durban and Cape Town are the main ports. Kimberley is famous as a diamond mining centre. Johannesburg, one of the largest cities, is known for gold mining. South Africa falls between the latitudes 22 degrees 7 minutes south and 34 degrees 52 minutes south of the equator, and between the longitudes 16 degrees 20 minutes east and 31 degrees 15 minutes east of the prime meridian. A large plateau covers the central part of South Africa. Its eastern, southern and western coastal regions form narrow strips. The northwestern part of the country features a hot desert. The Drakensberg Mountains are found in the southeast of South Africa. Two of its major rivers are Orange and Limpopo. Since South Africa lies in the temperate region, it has a mild and pleasant climate. The temperatures range between 20 degrees to 32 degrees Celsius in summers and between 10 degrees to 20 degrees Celsius in winters. In the mountainous areas, the climate is relatively cool, whereas the coastal areas experience hot and humid summers and dry winters. The temperatures are high in the desert areas. South Africa receives summer rainfall brought by the southeast trade winds during October and February. The rainfall is about 1,400 millimeters in the east, which reduces to 600 millimeters in the west. In the southwest, the westerlies bring rain during winters. Extremely low rainfall has resulted into the formation of deserts in the western and northern regions of the country. The Bengala cold current flows along the western coast. Mediterranean as well as scrub vegetation is seen in South Africa. The mountainous regions in the southeastern part of the country have forests. The mountains have broad leaf deciduous forests, while the Veld Plateau is famous for the grasslands. Trees like olive, spruce and pine are found in the south near Cape Town. Many wild flowers are found in South Africa. The head of a flower named giant proteus is around 25 centimeters in diameter. The African ostrich is the largest bird in the world, growing to a gigantic 2.5 meter and weighing at 150 kilograms. Herbivores like bisons and elephants, carnivores like cheetahs and lions, and omnivores like baboons are found in the Veld grasslands. The number of these animals has greatly reduced in recent decades because of large-scale hunting. National parks and sanctuaries have been established to counter this situation.
Okay, one second. Okay, South Africa is a country located in the southern part of the African continent. It's the summary. It's known for minerals like gold and diamonds. You know what is gold? You know what is gold?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Diamonds as well, yeah? They are
Yeah.
rich in minerals,
Yeah.
as well as wildlife resources. South Africa extends up to an area of 12,200 square kilometers. South Africa, the most developed country in Africa, is surrounded by Mozambique in the northeast, Namibia in the northwest, and the Atlantic Ocean in the southwest, and the Indian Ocean in the east. The southern tip of the country is known as the Cape of Good Hope. Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. Durban and Cape Town are the main ports. Kimberley is famous as a diamond mining center. Johannesburg, one of the largest cities, is known for gold mining. South Africa falls between the latitude, a large plateau covers central part of South Africa, its eastern, southern and western coastal regions from narrow strips. The northwestern part of the country features a hot desert. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Mediterranean as well as ascot vegetation is seen in South Africa. The mountainous regions in the southeastern part of the country have forests. You know that South Africa produces a very good wine, yeah? One of the best in the world, because the Mediterranean temperatures above them to make up the grapes to produce wine, red wine. The mountains have broad left deciduous forests, while the Veld Plateau is famous for the grasslands. Trees like olive, spruce and pine are found in the south near Cape Town. Many wildflowers are found in South Africa. The head of a flower named giant proteus is around 25 centimeters in diameter. The African ostrich, you know what is the ostrich? It's the bird, big bird.
Ah.
This bird can fly, only walk. It's
Yeah.
big. You
Yeah.
know what it is?
Yes.
It's the largest bird in the world, growing to a gigantic 2.5 meters and weighing at 150 kilograms. Herbivores like bisons and elephants, carnivores like cheetahs and lions, and omnivores like baboons are found in the Veld grasslands. The number of these animals has greatly reduced in recent decades because of large-scale hunting. National parks and sanctuaries have been established to counter this situation. Okay. South Africa is located at the southernmost region of Africa, with a long coastline that stretches more than 2,500 kilometers. and along two oceans, the South Atlantic and the Indian. Okay? That is a map of South Africa. You know, Mozambique, Namibia, you have Lesotho, and Swaziland. It's the borders countries, okay? South Africa politics. South Africa is a parliamentary republic. What is a parliamentary republic? They have a parliament, you know, they have president, but the parliament make the laws, okay? I told one, like most such republic, the president is both head of the state and head of the government. Okay?
Okay.
The first democratic election was in 1994. Okay, in South Africa. Actually, the president is called Jacob Zuma, is the actual president. Give me a second. In South Africa, actually, they had a racial tension. You know what is the racial tension? It's, for example, when two racial groups are fighting with them, or racial tension is an animosity or dislike between two or more ethnic groups. Okay, what happened? The white British settlers was or they had the control of the country, but the mostly amount of people was they were black people, you know, but the small white people control the country, and the big black people, big amount of people have any rights. They can go to the university. You know, the white control the country, but they are a minority. And the black don't have the control of the country, but they was a majority, you know, of people. That was the problem in South Africa, really. That was the problem. Okay, now I have some questions for you, Tatiana. The first one. Small quiz. What is the capital of South Africa? You will write. How many official languages are there? Who is the current president? What oceans border on South Africa? Which is the largest city? Which side of the road do they drive on? What is the currency? And when was the first democratic election? Can you make here the answers, please? I wait for you. You have time, take your time, okay? You have one question?
Yes, the pronunciation,
Is South African rand. Rand.
Okay.
Yes, but finish first and after you make me question, okay?
Thank you.
You can see then in the slides you have some answers as well if you want to see. Okay, you have 1 minute more, okay, to finish.
Okay.
Okay, Tatiana, you finish?
Okay.
Okay. That. No. In English. In English.
Okay.
Okay, the first question is, what is the capital of South Africa?
What is the capital South Africa?
Of South.
Of Africa. Pretoria.
Pretoria is the capital,
Yes.
yes. And what is the biggest city, the most important city? No, but that is in another question. Okay. How many
official languages are there? 11.
Very good, Tatiana.
Who is the current president?
The current president.
Jacob
Zuma.
Zuma.
Very good, Tatiana.
Okay. What ocean?
Ocean.
The pronunciation
Oceans. Border
on
South
Africa. Ocean,
Indian Ocean and
in Atlantic Ocean.
very good.
Which is the large city?
The largest
City. Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
Yes. Which side of the
Road.
do the drive on is left.
On the left. Yes, they drive on the left.
What is the currency? South Africa. South Africa rand.
Very good. And the last question.
When was the first democratic election? 1994.
Very good, 94. Very good. Excellent, Tatiana, you understood. Okay. Okay, and now we will have a look at documentary, small documentaries about Nelson Mandela life, okay?
Okay.
Against overwhelming odds, he achieved his dream of equality for all South Africans. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918 in a small South African village. His father, a tribal chief, gave his son the name Rolihlahla. At the age of 7, he began his British education, and his teacher gave him the name Nelson. When his father died, Nelson was sent to live with the leader of the Thembu people. He groomed Nelson for leadership, letting him sit in on council meetings, sending him to the finest schools. During a break from college, Nelson ran away to Johannesburg in order to avoid a prearranged marriage. It was 1941, and for the first time, Nelson came face to face with the brutal reality of a racially divided South Africa.
By entering the city as a kind of anonymous black person, he gets a first-hand experience of what black life is like for urban black South Africans at that time, and he gets a kind of immediate confrontation with the white apartheid racist state.
I think that he had two languages. He had a deep historical language from his own learning, his own training within his tribal background. But I also think that he had a language of the law. He had a completely contemporary language, and he brought those two together in the language of human rights.
He began attending meetings of the African National Congress, an organization that aimed to establish a democratic government. During this time, he married his first wife, Evelyn.
The apartheid regime really begins to be kind of built up after 1948 when the National Party comes into power, and they were the party of apartheid.
A year later, the ANC adopted nonviolent civil disobedience as official policy. In 1952, they launched the campaign for the defiance of unjust laws, and Nelson traveled South Africa in support of that effort. The National Party government took steps to restrict Nelson's movements, banning him from attending any gatherings and confined him to Johannesburg.
He was made the chief volunteer of the Youth League's National Defiance campaign, and that's when the authorities began to notice him. The government knew that they had someone that they could not look away from.
He and Oliver Tambo decided to set up a law firm that will specialize in serving the black population. That would be a kind of a low-priced law firm, an accessible law firm, and that will specialize in defending black clients against the apartheid laws.
In 1956, the government arrested Nelson and 150 other activists, charging them with treason. Nelson's relentless dedication to activism took a toll on his personal life, and his wife Evelyn left him. As he waited 4 years for his trial, he met a beautiful young independent-minded Winnie Madikizela, who would become his second wife in 1958. In 1960, the South African government outlawed the African National Congress. Mandela went underground and formed the Umkhonto we Sizwe, the Spear of the Nation.
Umkhonto we Sizwe was formed after Sharpeville, when 67 people were killed, men, women and children, and over 180 were wounded during a peaceful demonstration. It was at that time that Mandela realized, I think it was a very difficult decision for him, that non-violent resistance was not enough.
Since he was wanted by the government, he traveled abroad, secretly gaining support for the cause. When he returned to South Africa, he was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. While in prison, he was also charged with sabotage and conspiracy to overthrow the government. Mandela stood trial but refused to defend himself because this would legitimize the state's case. Mandela received a life sentence to be served in the prison on Robben Island, a desolate rock island 7 miles off the coast of Cape Town. Instead of being forgotten in jail, Mandela became a symbol for the movement to end apartheid. During the 1980s, several offers of release were made to Mandela on the condition that he renounce violence. He refused. In February of 1990, the government declared the ANC legal and announced Mandela was to be released.
Here's this man who hasn't been seen for over a quarter century walking out into the world.
Now free at the age of 71, Mandela was named the head of the ANC. His work to help bring an end to apartheid earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. In 1994, for the first time in more than 300 years, blacks in South Africa would have the opportunity to vote for their rulers. At the age of 75, Mandela was elected president in a landslide.
Becoming the president, I think he really moved the world, because this was a place that most of us didn't think would ever see black leadership. And so for him to rise to power after being in jail for 27 years, I think it was just a really historical moment.
Mandela proved to be a master politician, knowing when to be unyielding and when to compromise. Unfortunately, his marriage to Winnie came to an end in 1996. In 1998, Mandela married his third wife on his 80th birthday. The following year, he stepped down as president of the ANC. Nelson used his stature to help mediate the civil war in Burundi. He continues to work with human rights organizations and for AIDS awareness.
I think that he will be known as, one of the peaceful freedom fighters of our time.
Nelson Mandela continues to be a defining symbol of how one man can truly make a difference in the world.
Okay. take that one.
Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela began his life herding sheep and cattle in the rolling hills of South Africa's Eastern Cape. In his autobiography, part of which was written secretly while in prison, Mandela wrote, "I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free. Free in every way that I could know. Free to run in the fields near my mother's hut. Free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village. Free to roast mealies under the stars and ride the broad backs of slow-moving bulls. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it." Nelson Mandela's given name, Rolihlahla, literally means tugging at the branches of a tree. But at school, he was given the name of another famous leader.
When I went to school, the lady teacher, Miss Mtingane, asked, "What is your name?" I told her my African name, Rolihlahla. She says, "No, I don't want that one. You must have a Christian name." So I say, "No, I don't have one." She says, "From today, you are going to be Nelson."
So henceforth, he would be known to the world as Nelson Mandela. As the son of a chief, Nelson Mandela had access to the best education available to black people in South Africa at the time. Studying at Fort Hare University, where he first became involved in student protest, his refusal to accept injustice, unfairness, and inequality would last a lifetime. South Africa, 1941. In his early 20s, Nelson Mandela moved to Johannesburg, where he first encountered the racial discrimination that would later become entrenched in law by the apartheid government. Working on the mines, and later as a clerk in a law firm, Mandela pursued his law studies and joined the African National Congress, the oldest black political organization in South Africa.
It was when I came into the African National Congress that I realized that councils are only a part of the African people. That the task of the ANC was to unite the African people and out of them build a nation.
In 1948, the nationalist government was voted into power by the white electorate in South Africa, and the battle lines were clearly drawn.
Comrade Oliver said, "Well, I like this because we now know we have an enemy in power, and I think that we're going to have a better opportunity of mobilizing our people."
Our policy is one which is called by the Afrikaans word apartheid. And I'm afraid that has been misunderstood so often. It could just as easily, and perhaps much better, be described as a policy of good neighborliness.
In 1955, the ANC and other organizations called upon people of all races to gather in Cape Town to approve the Freedom Charter, a blueprint for a free, democratic, and multiracial South Africa, in which all races would be treated equally. Nelson Mandela, one of the chief organizers of the gathering, was banned by the government from attending and was forced to watch proceedings from the sidelines. In 1956, the organizers of the Freedom Charter and other leaders in the Congress movement were charged with high treason. The trial was specifically designed to occupy the opposition and keep them out of politics. It dragged on for 4.5 years, and it would be another 40 years before the Freedom Charter finally bore fruit. South Africa, 1960, Sharpeville, a black township in the industrial area south of Johannesburg, a peaceful crowd gathered to protest against the past laws was shot at by police. 69 people died. The nationalist government imposed martial law. All opposition was banned and thousands were jailed. When it became clear that all means of peaceful negotiation had been exhausted, Mandela went underground to lead the armed struggle.
We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is a country of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country. There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
Key government installations were targeted for sabotage. Mandela became known as the Black Pimpernel. In 1962, Mandela was captured, charged with leaving the country illegally, and sentenced to imprisonment for 5 years. Shortly afterwards, his ANC comrades were captured with evidence which incriminated Mandela. He returned to court for the Livonia trial, where he and 8 others faced a possible death penalty.
The very speech which was made by Nelson consolidated the spirit of the people outside, because it was a defiant spirit.
I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have challenged the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunity. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
When Nelson Mandela and several of his colleagues were sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964, the political convicts were sent to Robben Island, the bleak island prison off the Western Cape Coast. Nelson Mandela was 45 years old when he became prisoner number 466 of 1964. He would be in his early 70s before he would again be a free man. Forced to perform futile hard labor in a lime quarry, the prisoners refused to be broken. Far from being diminished, Mandela's moral leadership and stature continued to grow while he was in prison. His young wife, Winnie, continued to be an inspiration to the struggle.
That day is not far when we shall lead you to freedom.
Amanda, away to power to the people. But the struggle against apartheid would continue for another quarter century. While Nelson Mandela and his co-accused served life sentences on Robben Island, other leaders of all races and in all spheres campaigned for change. Many faced imprisonment or exile. And around the world, ordinary people showed their horror of apartheid and their support for the struggle.
The purpose, friends, of this boycott is for the people of Britain to register on the widest possible scale their passionate protest against an evil and repulsive doctrine which says that a man's legal status, a man's political rights, a man's economic opportunities, a man's social position shall depend solely upon the color of his skin.
But in 1976, Soweto school children marched in protest and townships around the country erupted in violence. It was the beginning of the end for apartheid, but the struggle dragged on for more than a decade as the Afrikaner nationalist government clung to power.
And patient. Don't push us too far.
In the late 1980s, amid a tide of world pressure, the South African government was forced to accept the inevitable and began dismantling apartheid. In 1990, at the age of 71, Mandela was released unconditionally.
I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. I place the remaining years of my life in your hands.
After leading negotiations for a new South Africa, Nelson Mandela cast his vote in the first free and democratic elections and became the country's first black president.
Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another.
For the duration of his presidential term, and throughout what should have been a well-earned retirement, he has worked tirelessly to entrench the ideals he has so long stood for, becoming universally revered as an icon of leadership and humanity.
When I told one of my advisors a few months ago that I wanted to retire, he growled at me, "Coach, you are retired." If that is really the case, then I should say, I now announce that I'm retiring from retirement.
But in his retirement from retirement, Nelson Mandela has continued to give his support and generosity in countless ways, creating an enduring legacy through the Nelson Mandela Foundation, the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, the Mandela Rhodes Foundation, the Nelson Mandela Institute for Education and Rural Development, and the 46664 campaign. Through 46664, he continues to lend the full force of his extraordinary talent, intellect, and heart to a problem that faces not only his own country, but the world at large. Nelson Mandela, Madiba, we salute you.
Do you like the Mandela history? It's very interesting, eh?
Very yes.
What did you understand?
Mandela is president, or was president.
Was a president.
Was a president. Mandela, ¿cómo se dice? Luchar.
Fight.
Fight for the people, black.
For the black people.
Black people. He is the man, all the young, this man, ¿cómo se dice esto?
In English, I tell you, in Spanish. This man Was?
in prison.
Yes, was in jail. Yes, on prison.
The other, I asked that, all is the president.
Become president, yeah. After when he was released from prison.
Yes, the people very happy.
You know, people around the world was fighting,
Yes.
support him. Same here in England, you know, the politician of the Labourist Party.
Is the man is very population.
Very popular.
Popular in the world.
Around the world.
Yes.
In the whole world. Okay, Tatiana. What do you think more about it? What was Mandela's childhood like? You know, when he was boy, what happened with him? What happened with his name? You remember?
What
happened what happened with the Mandela name? Because when he arrives to the school, he had another name. You remember?
Sí, for your name.
His name.
His name. Christian.
His new name was Nelson.
Nelson. His new name. Yes.
Okay. What he do when he moved to Johannesburg? You remember? Because when he moved to Johannesburg, what he do? He does. What he does?
He does. He does work in the mines.
The mines. Yes, he was working in the mines. The golden mines. Yeah.
He study law.
He study law. Yeah.
Yes.
He become a lawyer.
And you need the ANC.
The party, yes, the
Yes.
Black Party. Okay,
Yes.
Tatiana. Tatiana, what do you think about Mandela? What do you think about his life? Or what do you think about his life? About Mandela's life? What do you think? What do you think, or what do you learn about his life for you? What do you keep in your heart about the Mandela's life?
Admiration. Admiration.
Admiration. I don't think that this works in English, no.
No, understand,
No, the question is good, but admiration is not English. Admiration is Spanish.
Spanish. No, sorry, the pronunciation of the word, no.
Yes, but what do you think is a good man, a big man, a very important man?
Is good man, good man. Good man.
Okay, Tatiana, you remember that we was speaking about Nelson Mandela. What do you keep in your mind when you heard about Mandela? What is important that you're watching in the documentary, short documentary?
Yes.
What do you think, Tatiana?
Mandela is like the Gandhi of Africa.
Yes, like Gandhi.
Yes.
Why? Because she made the same fighting without violence. Yeah,
Yes.
for that.
Yes,
Okay.
he was fighting for independence.
Oh yes, very good, very
and
good. Excellent.
racial equality.
Okay, yes, they was fighting because they
Yes.
they had in this moment, at this moment, the apartheid. You know, the white people and the black people can fix together everyone
Yes.
in their side.
Yes.
Okay.
He was of first South African president to be elected.
Oh, yes, yes, go there to see the first South African president, yes?
The democratically.
Oh, yes, yes.
It's very important because he's a very persistent person.
Yeah, okay, he was always fighting for his rights.
Yes.
Okay, Tatiana, now we will make an activity that is another reading comprehension, because today is reading comprehension. We will work with reading comprehension, okay?
Okay.
I will read, and after you will answer some questions, okay?
Okay.
It's the lost city at Sun City in South Africa is a very interesting place to visit. Legend has it that centuries ago an African tribe from the northern part of the country brought with them the rich heritage and settled in an ancient volcanic crater which they called the Valley of the Sun. The people were great architects and had a genuine love of nature. They created a magnificent city of unique architectural design. Unfortunately, an earthquake struck and turned the city into ruins. Okay? The inhabitants were forced to flee from their homes. Today, the city has been restored to its former splendor and named the Lost City. The focal point of the city is the palace, a hotel which overlooks 25 hectares of jungle, and the water adventure park. Behind the palace is a golf course which stretches across the ochre bushveld. Here, golfers may get to see live crocodiles enjoying their haven under the sun at the 13th hole. The Water Adventures Park boasts of lazy river ride for the young and old who want to take it easy. The wave pool creates perfect surfing waves which roll to a white sand beach lined with palm trees. This is the place that everyone loves, not for the faint-hearted. It's the temple of courage with its fantastic water chutes challenging the visitors to plunge nearly 100 meters of rock surface of speeds of the 35 kilometers per hour. Animal and nature lovers would not miss going into the game parks of South Africa. There are 70 parks, of which the most popular is the Kruger National Park. However, just a stone's throw from Sun City, in the same volcanic crater, is the Pilanesberg National Park. It spreads over 60,000 hectares of bushland and supports an interesting wildlife population. Visitors either ride on horses or take a safari jeep to explore the park. Guides are provided to assist them. The visitors will be able to see the animals at close range. According to the guides, a successful safari drive is one where the big five are sighted: the lion, leopard, rhinoceros, buffalo, and elephant. Okay, you have 10 questions. The first one: in which country is the lost city located? What made the Africans leave their homes in the volcanic crater? In which part of the golf course the crocodiles live? Which attraction in the adventure park would be the most popular with the elderly? Why is the Temple of Courage not suitable for the faint-hearted? How big is the Pilanesberg National Park? How do visitors get to see the animals at close range? When is a safari drive considered unsuccessful? What are the big five? Name them. Which phrases in the passage tell us that there are many kinds of animals in the game park? Give me a second. This is the Lost City. We see a small video, as you know what is Lost City. It's a park, you know?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's very big.
Yeah? Nice, yeah.
It's expensive.
I don't know, I never been there. What should be, of course, a big palace. It's like a big park in South Africa. It's an attraction park. We see a Johannesburg small video. Johannesburg is the most important city. Okay. We see a little bit more answers, you know. Answer the question. Okay.
Thank you.
Take the time. Take your time. Okay. Finish, Tatiana? Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay. The first question. In which country is the Lost City located?
It is in South Africa.
Where? Can you speak stronger, please?
In South Africa.
In South Africa.
South Africa.
Very good. What made the Africans leave their homes in the volcanic crater?
Earthquake made they leave their homes.
Can you speak stronger?
An earthquake made them leave their homes.
Very good. In which part of the Gulf Coast do crocodiles live?
They lazy.
No,
sorry,
the third one.
Okay. They live in the 13th hole of the coast.
Very good. Fourth, which attraction in the adventure park would be most popular with the elderly?
The lazy river ride will be most popular.
Excellent.
Yes.
Why is the Temple of Courage not suitable for the faint-hearted?
It is exciting and nerve-wracking.
Okay. How big is the Pilanesberg National Park?
It has an area 16,000
An area of?
Yes, 16,000 hectares.
Very good.
Yes.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, teacher.
How do visitors get to see the animals at close range?
On horseback or from the safari jeep.
Very good. When is safari drive considered unsuccessful?
It is unsuccessful if any of the big fine animal is not seen.
Okay, you can see of the 5 animals. Okay, the big 5. Okay.
Okay.
What are the big 5 and name them?
Name?
The big 5. You remember which?
Yeah. They are the 5 kinds of animal. Lion.
Lion.
Lion, leopard, rhinoceros, buffalo, and the elephant.
Very good. And which phrase in the passage tell us that there are many kinds of animals in the game park? Okay, Tatiana. Can you give me the last answer, please?
10.
Yes.
Okay. The phrase is an interesting wildlife population.
Excellent, Tatiana. Thank you very much. You have questions about the class? What do you think about it? You enjoy it? You like the South African history?
Yes, teacher. Thank you very much. The class is very interesting. Muy important.
Very important.
Very important history.
To know about the history.
Sí, de Nelson Mandela.
Okay. Okay.
It's a beautiful history.
It's very nice. Yes, okay, Tatiana. Nice to see you and see you next class, okay? Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.